Yo Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. Hope you're all doing well, and you've got over the, excitement of our sextuplet, which sounds a little bit wrong, but we won everything. It was a good clean sweep. In fact, just to brag, let's have a look at the end of season review. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Winner, 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 winner. So it was a good season. Can't complain. It's probably going to be unless there's anything in the comments where people object massively, it's probably going to be our last full season with the humpbacks. So it was good to go out and win, do quite well. What we're going to do is we're going to, again, unless there are any kind of objections, play essentially the first half of next season over the next few videos with the humpbacks, where we will try and win the Super Cup, because that's the very first cup competition that would be available, and then we'll go and play in the Club World Championship to try and get a little bit more prestige, see how we can do. I don't think we'll get past the playoff because the teams are so much stronger, but get that money pumped into the club, which will be useful because obviously we are not doing well financially. So a bit of a dip. That was the takeover where they injected some money and then back down to where we were. Apparently we had record attendances, that's it. Record attendances this season, along with some other records I'll show you briefly. And because of that, show you the news item. They have announced an expansion of 921 seats, so actually a reasonably big expansion for this, for the scale of the league we're in. That's not bad. It's costing over $500,000, and we've managed to get a grant to cover over half of that. But it's a lot of money to bring the stadium up to a 2,215 capacity all-seater. I have not done the maths, but I'm pretty sure we need several seasons of those 921 seats being filled to ever recoup that 550,000. It's not going to quickly be dealt with. A few of the records and things like that. So Yanin's got the goal scoring one, so 54 goals. Dalwin's got the record assists, 16. 40 man of the matches for Janin, and Smith got 15 clean sheets, breaking his own record, so doing alright. But the reason why we're here is we've got internationals. So we've got the Oceania Nations Cup. So we're in Group B, we've got Austral Islands, Islands, Marquesa and Tahiti, so actually we've got quite a tough group. Top team qualifies for the second round. Second round is another two groups, then there's a semi-final, then there's the final, and then from the final we then go into the World Cup qualifiers. And because of the way it works, obviously the finals only have two teams, you've got two groups of six. I think it's drawn from all the semi-final teams plus the best finishing from this group stage. This is a really convoluted way of getting through the qualifiers, because then once you've won the qualifying groups and finals, then you go into the playoff against a team from Asia or South America or Central America. So it's really long-winded. And I have a feeling we're probably not going to have that much success, because Marquesas Islands aren't fantastic. They've actually got a good player pool, but because so many of their teams are in the championship and below, they're not producing a huge amount of really good players. So it's actually Tahiti and the Islands who've been the strongest international sides. So the Islands getting to that playoff against Uruguay. That's who they got. And winning the last sort of World Cup qualifying round. So they're the strong teams. So we've got the Nations Cup. I'll play that, see how that plays out. And then we'll have the Atoll Championship, which is around the start of the season. So we'll play that as well, see if I can win that. If we don't do well, if we don't qualify for the next round of the whole qualifying system and things like that from the Nations Cup, then after the Atoll Championship I'll end it with Marquesa and wait for the next kind of international opportunity. But we'll see. So in this episode, the next couple of episodes are actually probably going to be international ones, a bit of an international break, and then we will come back for the Super Cup. 1 or 2 games, but I'll probably spend a lot of time off camera playing the intro to the season. And that should be about it, really. So if there's anything you're not sure about, anything you want to ask, anything you want to object to, I'm not as far ahead in my recording as I normally am. I'm normally about a week ahead. But actually, I've only got 1 episode ahead, so this is going to go up a couple of days after I've recorded it. So there's time to respond to the next few videos about what you might want to see me do with the kind of domestic side. So should I leave the humpbacks? Who should I leave them for? Should I just quit after the World Club Championship, or should I see the season out but just not record as much of it and then start fresh? So let me know what you think about that. I'm just going to quickly show you the squad. So I made no real changes from the last time we had an international. I have 2 tactics. I'll show you first because then it kind of makes sense with the team selection. So this is what we developed for Marquesa. This kind of 4-2-3-1 formation, because we didn't have a huge amount of players. I wanted to make something from scratch. But obviously because Just Keep Swimming works so well domestically, I put that in as our backup. Like if things go horribly wrong, we can sort of try and drop back into this. The problem is we just don't have many strikers really in the team that are any good. We'll go through this squad. Actually, I don't want to training the wrong thing. Go back. So nothing huge in terms of amazing players. So our first choice keeper, Mathieu Roux, pretty good. Got Serge Delmas, you might remember from when we've been playing Taha. He's kind of decent. We've got Stephen Gross from Tahiti, but he's playing in the championship, so he's rubbish. Flavien Bidol, who again, a POA, I think it's the championship, so it's not great. Gwendal Logier playing for Mahatani San Pedro, not very good. But defensively, these are really, the best options I've got. Going forwards into midfield, we've got Tisserand on the bench, potentially is quite good. Maxime Miller, who plays better than his attributes look. Taha. From Tuamotun, we've got Jean-Francois Mugin. Doesn't really matter, he's not that good. Right hand side, we've got Camille Leterrier, who's okay, I guess. In the centre bit, we've got Theo Hutz, who I quite like. His attributes are fantastic, but I think he performs quite well. We've got Thomas Girardet as well, who's playing for them in Spain. So he's well out of Polynesia right now. On the left hand side, we've got Sebastian Thomas, who plays for the Eels, who's okay, but we've also got Charles Guarin, who can play, and Bryce Roux. So we've got some options, all fairly terrible options. And in terms of out and out strikers, we've got Luca Barr, who now plays for the Humpbacks, so he's been back in training. Didn't play too much for us. And then we've also got Gabin Aubrey from Motu1, who looks alright. So that's our team. I'm going to stop there and we'll come back for our very first match against the Bass Islands, who are probably, well, Bass Islands and Tahitis could quite well destroy us in this. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute or two so you can see some of the international action. Okay, we're back. So in the 5 days, in-game days, it was between my little intro bit and this, they announced the manager of the season for the Polynesian Premiership. It wasn't me, I was second. I only won everything. But apparently the Sporting Chance manager was more worthy. Who I imagine they won, I don't know, cup they could have won, one of the cups we weren't entered in. So, I'm not bitter about being completely snubbed for that. We've got our squad set up, I think. I don't think anyone's in the wrong position particularly. So we're playing at the Bass Islands. They're the ones who got through, like I mentioned earlier in the video, to the playoffs last time round. So they had a strong team, but it's a few years on now, a couple of years on. But what that probably means is their team's probably actually quite strong or stronger than it was, because the average age of these squads, because of the way the new gens are produced, because of the way the database is, there's lots of quite young players. So they're young players who did well. Now sort of not quite hitting their prime, but getting closer. So there's a good chance they'll be quite strong. We're playing our Gambier. Feel a little bit bad about picking Bar up, get him to train with the humpbacks, because a little bit like us abusing my position as a manager of one of the teams, but he's a good player. We were genuinely trying to buy him at one point. It's just he's not as good as our strike pairing of Yanin and Gerard. On the other international front as well, so obviously all the teams are playing their internationals in the Oceania Nations Cup, so Tahiti, Austral Islands, whatever. So I got obviously told about. Sorry if my microphone made a weird noise; it kind of fell off my face then. But we all got told, about all the other players who got called up. So Yanin got called up after his 54-goal season for Tahiti, but Gerard after 30-odd goals and sort of consistent. Oh, there we go. It was a nice little move as well. It was from distance in the end, but it was a good finish from out there. Delmaster Milot, the Terrier in, Huitz. Yeah, tapped it around. There wasn't actually much else on, I guess, but decent goal, decent finish. So yeah, what was I saying? Gerard didn't get called up, so he's only got an absolute ton of goals. Go on, stop this, get it out. No, that's not out. Set piece as well. It's a good delivery, but we step forward at the wrong moment, and the offside trap didn't work. I guess because it's a free kick. At least it'll be a bit of a competitor. I don't need to see it again. I know it was fine. Put the league table on. Yeah, so Gerard wasn't called up. He's been snubbed. I don't think he's had many call-ups recently, even though he's the second highest goal scorer for Tahitian players, like players in the league, players who can actually qualify for Tahiti. He's the second highest goal scorer behind Yanin. Actually, he's not that far behind in league goals. I think he might be the same or more. It's just that Yanin got more in the cup. That's where the difference has come from. So he's been snubbed. We've got a lot of players playing for the Austral Islands. Marquesa's playing for the Bass Islands today, I think. I say we've been the better team. I don't think we have been. There's no one I really want to bring on at this stage. Terrier, maybe. Let's go to tactics, because I can't remember anyone's position. Who have we got who can play on? No one. Yeah. Well, Thomas can go on the right then. The Terrier can be replaced by him or Bryce. Both pretty bad. Let's give it to Giles. Time to shine, Giles. I think it's the Austral Islands playing after this. We'll play a lot of our own players to see how they do against us. Got behind us. See, defensively we're not very good. I do kind of wonder how strong a united Polynesian team would be like. I mean, I could have set the database up that way, so there were we didn't have these different nationalities, but I quite liked it. It's a bit like the kind of UK. We've got Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, so on. Almost, Giles. A draw's not the end of the world. Right, let's make some subs. Let's bring an Aubrey for Bar. And Tissard for House. Tisad for Mugen. See, I was quite proud of this tactic when we made it and it started to work. We went up the rankings a tiny bit from friendlies and things like that, but knowing how well the 4-4-2 works in FM19 makes it very tempting. Just put the just keep swimming tactic in. But I think we'll try and keep the faith with this one. If we get to the last match and we know we need a win, which we might do. How is he not offside? We see that, yeah, it's the 89th minute. That's because it came off one of our players, that's why. I was saying, if we get to the last match, it turns out we need a win to have a chance of getting through to the next stage, then I'll go 4-4-2. And it looks increasingly like we might have to after that. That is not. We've outplayed them generally, just very decisive. There we go. That's that match. I think this video might be a bit long because I'm just going to cram it all in to once. We'll come back in a minute or two for the next game. Okay, so we're ready for the next match now against the Austral Islands. So Austral Islands lost 2-0 to Tahiti Societies, so it's fairly important we get these 3 points. We're going to probably have to steal points from Tahiti, depending on what goes on here. And the other group, Tuamotun managed to beat Fiji, and New Zealand beat Vanuatu. I have no idea where the Gambier Islands are. I'm wondering if they just don't have a high enough ranking to qualify for this stage, or if they're going to get entered into the next stage, because they've got a high enough ranking. Don't know about that. We'll find out. First time going through this in the game. For a 4-4-1-1. We're sticking with this one for the moment. We're going to try and keep the faith. See McCormack. Obviously, we'll recognise some of these names. So Smith, McIntyre, Cormack are all our players, and I think Janssen, Narendona, else, Weaver, Nathu, Spearling, Lamb, Thomas, Bolt, are all players who play for us or used to play for us. We produce most of this team. We made this team, which will make it a bit of a kick in the teeth if they beat us. Not much is happening in this match. It's the most exciting thing to have happened so far. I was keeping an eye on the news items, and I noticed that AS Chance appointed a new manager. So AS Chance finished, is it second in the league? I can't remember now. I think it was second. And their manager, was it Didier Zacaruina or something like that, beat me to manager of the season, which I was bitter about. So I looked at what happened. He just got sacked. So apparently they were expecting to win the title. Had higher expectations than us, didn't, so they sacked him. And I looked at his sort of career stats, and he used to actually be one of our staff members. So back in our very first season, we appointed him as our under-23s manager. And he went and managed Mount T and the Sky Brights, and then AS Chance. He's won the Inter-Island Trophy, and he's won the Leeward Trophy, but he was our under-23s manager to begin with, so that kind of makes it a bit better. We helped produce him. Yeah. I'm not quite sure why they got rid of him for runners-up. It's a bit harsh considering how good we were. Not much is going on here. 70th minute, I'm tempted to change the tactic up. Just to try and break the deadlock. They're playing 4-4-1-1 and 4-4-2-2's... I don't want to say it is up. Go on. Close. I don't want to say 4-4-2 is overpowered, but it does work very well. Match engine. Right. Let's try this. So, bar... And we're going to need that's probably the best we can do with that. Let's try this. Just 20 minutes, get the team used to it. Driving forwards, Giles, Aubrey. The ball was picked out well. Well, this isn't good. I mean, it was a good save, but it's a bit worrying. Game can come off for Pierre Daniel. Yeah, Pierre Daniel. I think we've got an average squad age of 23. A penalty? Take that. Go on, the Terrier. There we go. We will watch replay of that, we don't really need to. I don't think we've played that much better since the tactic change. It looks like we've had more highlights, but we've had so few. Even one or two would be a lot more than we had in the first half, so I think the tactic made a huge difference there. It's a penalty, that's the difference. As it stands, we'll start with our original one up front tactic against Tahiti in the last match. Offside. Nice to have another goal. Good win. The board were a little, the FA were a little bit irritated by the fact we'd lost the Bass Islands, so hopefully that will give us a bit of pride back. Feel a little bit like a traitor for beating the Austral Islands, but they've got all those talents and not used them properly. So we'll come back for the Tahiti match. Welcome back for the last match. So the other games have been played just before ours. So the Bass Islands and the Austral Islands played each other. Bass Islands beat Austral Islands 3-1. So currently Tahiti Societies are on 6, and we're going to play against them. Bass Islands played all their games and they are also on 6. We're on 3. Austral Islands are out of it, there's nothing they can do. Because of the way the sorting works, it's sorted on results against teams first. So goal difference isn't something we're particularly worried about. If we draw against Tahiti Societies, that's not enough. We have to beat them. And then we will go through with the Bass Islands at their expense, probably. Unless we only beat them by 1 goal, and then there'll be some kind of sorting between Tahiti and Bass Islands. But we have to beat them. So we'll see how the first half goes. They are very strong. We're already a player down. Let's bring on Johan there. Maxime Miller's a bit knackered, but we'll deal with that as best we can. It's just not enough quality in the national side, really. So they're going for 4-4-2. They've got Jordan and Martin up front. Mercier, Russo, De Freitas. I've been trying to sign De Freitas for seasons. And then by the time he's willing to sign for huge money, we had McCormick and I didn't want him anymore. Pons obviously plays for us currently, Rura 2, but he's got a month left on his contract and he doesn't want to sign with us because he doesn't think we're strong enough to match his ambitions. So I'm hoping that when it gets to the point where his contract's run out, he will sign with us. Then you've got Huck, who plays for us, Chevalier, Mara, and I don't really recognise these two names, and Jacques up there. And on the bench, Masson, Jacques, Yanin, our player, Rochel Tihoni, Daluin, our player again. So a few names you recognise, but I don't think this is the strongest team they've got. That had no effects. Good in training. See where we are by half time. tense, this one. So as you can see, it draws enough. Draw changes nothing in the live table. I mean, Jordan's a good striker. He is good. Imagine him up front with Yanin instead of Martin, because Martin looks alright. 6 caps, 2 goals. Yanin, 17 caps, 9 goals, and 54 this season. Just throwing that out there. I mean, I'm glad Yanin's not playing against us, because I think he would destroy us. But it feels a little bit sad that they're not playing their strongest team. Either they're being massively disrespectful, or they don't think they need... Well, that's the same thing, being disrespectful. Or they don't understand what their best team is, and they're being poorly managed. Passing around quite well. Oh no. There we go. Jordan skying it. Jordan play for chance, I think. Yeah, so he ended the season without much in the way of silverware. Unlucky. We did try to sign him once, but he just wasn't interested. Not much going on, so I think half time I'm going to change to 4-4-2. Because one thing I've noticed about this tactic is we don't score a lot. We're good for a goal, 2 at a push, but that's about it. We don't look good. We end up with a lot of bookings. Yeah, just be nice to them for this one. Go to just keep swimming. Bring on Giles again. It's Aubrey. Let's see how this goes. I think the original tactic, the kind of Marquesa quest tactic I called it, would work quite well if the players were just better. Oh, really? For yours. I mean, normally I'd just, get rid of one of the strikers, but actually we need to score. This Milo, because he card and he was tired as well. So that's it. No more changes for us. All of them made. Crushes now. Yanin's on. Dallowin's on. Jacket. Oh. Red? Yeah. They are falling apart like a cheap pair of braces now. 3-3-2. The ultimate tactic. You've got to stop Yanin there. I mean, I'm irritated the red card was not given, it was a red card. I'm irritated we've had 2 players sent off, but another one. Yanin has got 2 of our players sent off. He's the sub. Which ones go? Mazzalas go wide, don't they? Drift wide. Okay. Both Mazzalas now. Three red cards. I have a feeling I might lose my job after this. Unless we get some kind of stupid last minute goal, which I don't think we will do, because I think a 3-2-2 now. Or maybe this is our get it in. Weird, but it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? Good goalkeeping, give him that. No, don't do it, Yanin. I can't believe he missed it. I think that's loyalty that's made him do it. He's realised getting 2 players sent off was enough. Strong tackle. Let's see 3 sending offs. At least 4 of the yellow cards haven't put off our players from making 2-footed lunges. Yes, that's going nowhere. Referee, throw in. That's us out of the Nations Cup, which I think also destroys our chances of qualifying for the World Cup. Not happy. I can't be happy after that. Still got my job though currently, I can still see it. Look at that. 3 sendings off. Yeah, knocked out. I would agree, this was poor. 1 win, 1 draw, and a loss, and 3 red cards. But Yanin did completely do us, getting those players sent off. Well played to him. It's great to be his international manager. I will come back for the Super Cup and the Atoll Championship as well. But Atoll Championship is probably it for us with Marquesa, and when we move to the new club, I'll probably stay away from international management unless Tahiti or Austral Islands come in for me. I'll probably leave it. But I don't think there are any, go to this profile, any jobs? No, they've not sacked anyone else yet, so thanks very much for watching us crash out of the Nations Cup. I know it's a slightly longer video than probably planned, but just wanted to get the internationals done, and I will see you for the next video. Slight kind of PS at the end. Hopefully you've not finished watching. Actually, we have qualified for the World Cup qualifying section because I made a massive error. So I got really confused when I saw this. So I thought, well, what's going on with the whole... why have I got through? I wasn't in the top 6 of the second round because I didn't get through to the second round. But obviously, look, it says it there. Nations Cup second round. So in the first round, this is where the Gambier Islands were playing. They didn't get through because they got knocked out. Fiji made it through. We are in the second round. We're in the second round there, and the rules are top team qualifies second round. Is it semi-final? I can't remember where. I think it might be in the actual World Cup qualifying thing where it says who gets through. But basically, we're included in that. So we are on the side with Tahiti and Tuamotun, and then Bass Islands, Vanuatu, New Zealand. So it's between Bass Islands and New Zealand in this one, and I'd imagine it's between us and Tahiti in this one. So we managed to scrape a draw against them. So, who knows? There's still hope. So yeah, that's it now. Officially, that's it now. We have got through, which means we'll play these in November. We'll stick with it for the moment. Thanks very much. Now it's the end. Thank you. Sorry.